Hello clan and welcome to another kind of video I'm going to try and do. Now, if you haven't heard yet, and I don't know how, CD Projekt Red, the creators of the Witcher franchise, well not the creator of the Witcher games, Witcher 3 being numerous Game of the Year award, and don't worry, I will talk about my Game of the Years a little bit later down the line once I have a little something in mind. But, that being said, Witcher 3 is pretty much done. There's one more big expansion coming out, but that's after that is done. Now this is probably by far not the last time that CD Projekt Red will be diving into the Witcher universe. They've clearly stated that this is the last game with Geralt, but it doesn't mean it's the last game in this particular universe that they've helped create with from the books to the gaming medium. So I have no doubt we will see the universe again. Might be slightly different when we approach it, but the next game that they are touching upon is, of course, a game that many fans of the series have been waiting for many, many years, and CD Projekt Red seem like the right ones to touch upon it. It's a series I'm not too familiar with, so I do apologise for that. It is Cyberpunk 2077. And I will admit, that trailer, oof, when they announced it, it got me. Let's dive into this and talk about this now, shall we? So, we haven't really heard much about Cyberpunk 2077 since its announcement. We've heard bits and pieces from it, but not a lot. So, you see, the Projekt Red have kept it kind of hush-hush, while promoting, of course, The Witcher 3 when it eventually came out. So, we don't know a lot about it. In fact, we've only just got some bits and pieces about it recently. We don't even know how far along in the process the development of the game is, but they did state that once they were done with Witcher 3, it was all guns blazing and full steam ahead on Cyberpunk 2077. But one of the main heads of CD Projekt Red actually came out recently and stated in a Polish magazine, which has now been translated, of course, that Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be more ambitious than they first anticipated. Apparently they have, while working on it, they've just gone, holy crap, we have so many ideas. So that's a good sign in my opinion. They've also stated that they are probably going to be aiming for a 2016 release, most likely the late of 2016, so I'm guessing around about the same time Witcher 3 came out, so November to December-ish, I'd say. But that's still tough to say, and they might change that. They are not shy of delaying games to work on them. They made that abundantly clear with Witcher 3. But that being said, it is interesting to see that they are taking their time with this game and actually working on it. And I thought this was a good time to at least give a little ideas of what I think might be coming in this game. As is, I don't know much about the series Cyberpunk 2020, I believe is what it's based on. As it says, this was my first introduction to it with 2077 and the news about it. I do intend to buy the Cyberpunk book eventually. It's just a bit pricey right now. So let's dive into this and talk a little bit about it. Now, one thing I think has to be touched upon is this is going to be a completely different beast than the Witcher series. The Witcher series is very high fantasy. That's pretty much it. This is very high sci-fi. There's no elves, there's no dwarves, there's no creatures like this. It's human beings. That's who it is. With cybernetic enhancements, where there would be eyes, arms, limbs, and various. It's very Deus Ex style, but taking a little bit more to the extreme by the looks of it. It definitely looks as though Cyberpunk 2077 is going very much for the Blade Runner-esque kind of thing, that there are people who are pretty heavily cyberneticized, and those are done. Now, I did a little research, and there are different classes, but I'll get to that in a moment. But that being said, there is no preset character that the CD Projekt can use, like Geralt of Rivia. There are characters in the Cyberpunk universe, but a lot of them are like background characters or characters who might be antagonists or that kind of thing, figureheads kind of thing, because there's an organization system in this. But this could be CD Projekt Red's first attempt to do a RPG where you create your own character, pick your class. There are classes in the Cyberpunk game system. I'm not too familiar with it. I know there's a cop, hacker, warrior. It's kind of complicated. There's a bunch of classes, but it's definitely an interesting aspect to see what they're going to be doing with this, as it is, because this will give them the chance to either do one of two possibilities. It will allow them to either create a completely new character in the Cyberpunk setting that we will play, or the more inclined one that I'm hoping for, allow us to create our own character, actually have a full-fledged character creator like in any other RPG. Now, that being said, it is debatable what style of character creator we will have. Will we have the Fallout 4 and BioWare and Bethesda style character creation, where it will be just a floating at the head you'll be able to customize, or will it be more Saints Row franchise where you'll be able to customize the entire body? It's really up for debate what's going to be happening with this right now. I would like to think that they would lean towards more of the kind of a mixture of both. Maybe give the player the option to either adjust the body and the head, or just the head. I would like them to do that. But it'd be interesting to see how CD Projekt Red approach this kind of thing, because it's something that they haven't really done in the games that they have made and not just either translated or ported over. I definitely feel this is going to be a good test of their basically skills, in my opinion, because a character creator when it comes to an RPG is probably one of the most important things you have to get right. A poor character creator can make a game, let's just say, bad, while a great character creator can help the creativity and all that. Say what you want about Fallout 4, the character creator in that one with the Bethesda style has helped allow you to create some amazing people, whether it be Ash Williams, freaking Nigel Thornberry, various amounts of characters and famous people have been made. So if CD Projekt Red get this right, we could have a good character creator like that, or a full body one, depends. I'm interested to see what kind of character the creator they're going to have, though, especially with the implementations, of course, of cybernetics. Now, I'm not too familiar with the franchise. I'm going to keep saying that because I know why I get misquoted, as I say, but I do believe there is some form of system in the cyberpunk setting that if you eventually get too much cybernetics, you become less human. Sort of like humanity, and I believe it's humanity, and what's the system? Shadowrun, that's what it is. Where if you get too many implants, you eventually just snap, as the trailer showed with a female character who got way too many implants and cybernetic augmentations and just snapped and just killed a bunch of people. And that's what those I believe they're called psychocops or something along those lines. I do apologize, I can't remember off the top of my head. Who are specifically designed to take out people like this who do go crazy with the amount of cybernetics. So I definitely feel they're going to do something with that in the character creator. Like, you'll be able to pick some baseline modifications, maybe, like eyes, arms, legs, implants to help you breathe underwater, that kind of thing. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how they approach it, how they adapt it, and how they see things going with that way. Now, realize it is we'll have to wait and see when there's more out of it. We don't have much. It says there's still a lot of speculation we could make, but I am hoping that the character creator will be something that they will have a lot of time to work on and get just right, so we can actually customize our characters pretty well. As it says, of course, then maybe some form of background characterization, very much like Dragon Age Origins. Maybe that would be kind of interesting, but I doubt they'll go that way because that is a bit more complicated. Maybe it'll depend on the class you choose. That would be kind of interesting. Now, really, there's not much else to speculate on this point beyond the fact that one last thing I want to talk about is that CD Projekt Red want Cyberpunk 2077 to be bigger than Witcher 3. Not just bigger as in bigger game. It's probably going to be a bigger game in all honesty by the sounds of it. They want it to be bigger. They want it to break sales records. While Witcher 3 was massively successful, it sold a lot of copies, it made CD Projekt Red a lot of money, and they earned every damn penny of it because Witcher 3 is very well earned of all these Game of the Year awards. It's definitely going to be on my list, at least I can guarantee that. How high depends on the current game I'm playing. But they want Cyberpunk 27 to break sales records. That is very ambitious, but I also think CD Projekt Red can do it because they are an amazing developer. They know how to handle their community. They're not perfect. They have made mistakes, but I definitely feel they have the opportunity and potential to do this. We will see what happens, whether or not Cyberpunk 2077 actually does break sales records. It does depend on how good it is. But I will tell you right now, as soon as that game is available for pre-order, I will be buying it. If I can, I'll be upgrading my PC to no end to play on PC. I will be buying this game. There's no ifs, buts, or whats about it. CD Projekt Red have bought me. I know, I trust them. I will buy any game they make on release on faith because they are that kind of developer that I trust. I definitely want to get my hands on Cyberpunk 27 soon, but I will patiently wait for it to come out. Now, let's get into the question, of course. I want to ask you, clan, for anyone out there who's also familiar with the Cyberpunk 2020 game system, as it says, if you are familiar with it, feel free to make yourself known in the comment section down below. What do you want to see in Cyberpunk 2077 when it comes to the character creator alone? As is, that's just something simple as what kind of character creator would you like to see if they do a character creator? And of course, if they don't do a character, if you don't think they'll do a correct character creator, why? That being said, I think that's pretty much everything I've got to say on this matter. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, I'm Scottish192. I'll see you all next time. If you enjoyed this, feel free to click that subscribe button, and I'll see you around. Ciao for now.